Let's jump right in, right? Because you clicked on this video for a reason. 3 simple steps to manifest your business vision and why you haven't done it so far. So right now you probably feel like you're tired, you're doing all the things in your business and it's not getting you anywhere. You have a running to-do list and you're constantly working, you're up all night. You probably work a 9 to 5, and so your 5 to 9 or 5 to 2 a.m. or 5 to 4 a.m. is just working on your business every single day, just trying to get things off the ground. But it kind of feels like instead of swimming forward, you're just treading water, or even maybe like you're swimming upstream, right? So it's a constant fight just to get your business to take off. Another thing that I commonly felt when I wasn't sure of exactly where I was going in my business was just confusion. I would tell people, this is what I want to do in my business, this is what I want to do in my life, and I would just get these looks of like, surprise or disbelief, or even maybe disapproval, like, you can't do that. Just work a job, just do, things the way people have always done them, and just continue to carry on in this manner, right? And so for me, that wasn't enough for me. And so I felt very dissatisfied, and I felt confused, and I felt like, how can I make this happen for me in a way where people are supporting me, I'm moving forward, and I just feel a sense of fulfillment in what I'm doing, right? And so knowing me, what did I do? I grabbed a notebook, I grabbed my planner, and I sat down and I really started to think about what I wanted to create with my business, what I wanted to create in my life, and what I wanted my life to look like, right? So I remember I did this exercise where I wrote down where I'm going to be 10 years from now. And I remember I posted it on Facebook, and people were like, 10 years? Like, what? I can't even think about where I'm going to be next year. And I can't even think about, 3 years or 5 years from now. And 10 years, like, sis, you're just doing too much, right? But from the moment I did that exercise, I've never felt more in alignment than I do now. And so when I did that exercise to really see and picture and envision where I would be in 10 years, it was a clear picture. It was a clear picture of success. It was a clear picture of working less, not being, run down and constantly just working, chasing a dollar, trying to find a buck, trying to do things on a budget. In this 10-year vision, I saw myself with thriving children. I saw myself with time for my children. I saw that they were the center of my focus, as opposed to chasing money and chasing, material things that we need to survive in this world, right? So a lot of times we are in survival mode and we don't even know it. We don't realize that we're in survival mode because we've been in survival mode for so long. And so I was in survival mode, but when I flipped the switch and looked at where I will be in 10 years, I wasn't in survival mode anymore. And I could see a thriving version of myself. I could see a happy version of myself, a carefree version of myself, where I wasn't pushing myself towards perfectionism. I wasn't pushing myself towards, working every minute of the day or building something every minute of the day, right? And so when I saw all of those things in my vision 10 years from now, it gave me a sense of peace. It settled my spirit, right? And so our spirit sometimes is unsettled because we're unsure. We don't know where we're going. We don't know where we're trying to go. We don't know where we're going to end up. And so we're nervous. we're restless, we're afraid, we're scared. And in response to that fear, we get unsettled. We start to, want to move about, and we want to do so many different things at once. But when you know where you're going, you're not unsettled. You're calm, you're easy. You're just going along, right? So think about it as though we're in a car and we're driving. If I don't know exactly where I am, I'm in hyper alert. I'm very vigilant. I'm looking at every intersection. I'm trying to read every street sign because I'm not sure where I'm going, and I'm trying to get my bearings, right? I'm trying to understand where I am in the world. Where am I in the world, right? But when I'm familiar with the neighborhood, when I know exactly where I'm going, if I'm in the streets of the hill and I'm going from Bedford to Webster to Wiley and all of that, I know exactly where I'm going, right? And so for me, I don't have to, there we go, that's better. I don't have to be worried about where I am or where I'm going or any of that, because I know where I am. I know where I am, there's no way I can get lost in those 4 streets, right? And so when we know where we are and who we are and whose we are, we're not worried. We're not impatient. We're not in a rush. If I said 10 years from now, you're going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada, you wouldn't be in a rush to get there, because I didn't say 1 year from now, that's where you'll be. I said 10 years from now on this very date, you will be in Las Vegas, Nevada, right? So you won't be in a rush. You won't be in a hurry. You'll just understand that this is where you are going, right? And so it's exactly the same in our business. When we have a clear vision of where we're going in our business, we're not worried. We're not worried about a month without a client. We're not worried about a month without selling a product. We're not worried about that pop-up shop that we spent X amount of money on the entry fee and we didn't get that return on our investment. We're not worried about those individual things because we see the long game, right? We see where we're going in the long run. Things that you won't even remember that may seem, astronomical now. They may seem like they're just such a big deal and it's such a stressor to you. Don't let that be a stressor to you, because that's one moment in a grand series of events that is moving you to exactly where you need to be to become your future self, right? And so the first step to manifesting your business vision is to get very clear on what your business vision is. What do you see yourself doing 10 years from now? How many hours do you want to work? I want you to get so specific. I want you to tell me what kind of chair you're sitting in, because what kind of chair you're sitting in and the future vision of yourself tells me so much about you. Are you sitting in a pink fuzzy chair and you just leaning back, living luxurious? Are you sitting in that executive type of, black leather office chair and you're just the GOAT? Like you're the CEO, you are the boss, you are all of those things, right? Everything about the vision that you create of yourself in 10 years is going to tell me so much about you, and it's going to tell you so much about how you need to move. If you want to live a life of luxury, and there's nothing wrong with that. So y'all know me, and y'all know I am all about getting your coins for your skills and talents, right? We all deserve to live comfortably. Every single one of us, no matter who we are, no matter what we've done, right? I love the quote that says, we are all more than the worst thing we've ever done, right? We are all more than the worst thing we've ever done. And so every person in this world deserves to live the life that they want. And if the life that you want includes luxury, then I want that for you, right? So what do you see yourself doing in 10 years? Where do you work? Where do you sit? Who works underneath you? Who is your team? Who is your ace? Who's the first contact in your phone? Who's the last person you sent a text message to? I want to know everything. If it's Thanksgiving, who's coming to your house to eat? If it's brunch, who's coming to your house to eat? What are you drinking? What are you eating? What kind of water bottle do you have? Like, are you doing the Brita filter? Do you have the cute little tote that you're carrying around? Are you just having a basic plastic water bottle, right? I want you to think about every aspect of your life so that you can start to set yourself up to get there, right? So why is it important to have a vision, right? I just told you guys, why is it important to have your business vision? And your business vision extends into your entire life. So as visionaries, as CEOs, as business owners, our vision extends into our entire life. We are building the life that we want to live. That's why it's so important to us to build these businesses up, right? Our businesses are our passion. We love them, but we also want to build a life around that passion that we can thoroughly enjoy, right? So get very clear on your vision is step one. Step two is figuring out how to get there. So I gave you guys the analogy before of, I tell you that, March 1st, 2031, you're in Las Vegas, Nevada, right? Now we have to start to think about how we got there and how we're going to get there. And so what do, right? We pull out our map. We start to figure out what states we need to go through, what milestones we need to hit, what, major places we want to see, what's important to us on this trip to Las Vegas, Nevada, right? That's what we need to start thinking about. And so when we're thinking about our milestones, we want to break those down into goals. And our goals are things that are measurable. They're specific. They tell us exactly what we want to do, but they're not so big that they're visions, and they're not so small that they're action steps, right? And so we really want to think about 5 to 10 goals at a time and really breaking that down and figuring out, where do I need to go in terms of my goals to get to my eventual destination, right? So if our vision is our destination, the goals are the milestones on our journey. The goals tell us what states we need to hit, what major events we need to hit, what major timelines we need to hit, and they need to be realistic, right? So I can't drive from Pennsylvania to California in 24 hours. That's not a realistic goal. I might say that, I might want to do it, I might have every intention on doing it, but it's just not realistic, right? So we want to make sure that our goals are realistic. How do we make sure that our goals are realistic? We base them on data. We base them on things that we have done in the past. And if we're just starting out, we base them on things that other people have done in the past, right? So if you have never sold shirts and you're saying, I'm going to sell shirts for a month's time, who else has sold shirts? Who else has done something similar to what you're doing? And what were their sales like? And let's look at a few different people and let's average that out. And then let's set a realistic goal for ourselves, right? But if you have already been kind of doing business coaching, doing life coaching, you've had clients, whether they've paid or not, but you've had clients, how many clients do you typically have in a month? So if you typically see 3 people a month, paid or unpaid, you can easily say my goal for my first month as a paid coach is 3 clients. Maybe I want to bump that up to 5 clients. That's something that's realistic if you are growing as a business and growing as a service provider, right? So the first step that we want to take is clarifying our vision. That's step 1, right? Leave me a comment below if you are clear on your vision. If you know exactly what your vision is and you just need to figure out what the goals are, what the milestones are, you need to build out that roadmap, right? If you know what your vision is, leave me a comment below of some kind of emoji that reminds you of your vision. Now, the second step that I told you guys about was setting your goals. If you are kind of unsure about what your vision is, but you have some experience in setting some strong goals and kind of moving forward, you're inching along, you're not quite where you want to be, but you know how to set a goal and you know how to reach that goal, right? Leave me a comment below and just say goals. I know how to set goals. I'm great at setting goals. I get everything done. And then the third thing, right? The third thing is creating a sustainable plan. And so when I say a sustainable plan, what I mean is a plan that you will actually adhere to, a plan that you will actually follow. And so sustainable is the most important part of that phrase, because a lot of times I work with people who have the best of plans. They have the best of plans, they have the best of intentions, but somehow it always fizzles out. And so the plan isn't quite as sustainable as we would hope it would be, right? And so I'll tell you guys about one client that I had. She was in the process of creating a book. Her book was a journal to help women, and she was creating this journal, and for a long time, she was kind of dragging her feet on it. And so me being me and the type of coach that I am, I called her up. It wasn't our session or anything. I called her up and I said, sis, what's going on? Why have I not seen this journal yet? And you told me, 2 deadlines ago that it was going to be ready for me. And so she said, I know. I need to get on this. I need to get it done. You know what? I'm going to write it over this 3-day weekend. I'm going to have time off from school and work and everything that I'm always doing. I'm going to have this time off and I'm going to spend this 3-day weekend. I'm just going to write the whole thing and it'll be done, right? And she talked a good game and she told me all of this. And my response was, nope. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do it that way. I said, I want you to spend 10 minutes a day, because this 3-day weekend that she had planned was about 2 weeks away. I said, I want you to spend 10 minutes a day writing. I don't care if it's the worst thing you've ever written. I don't care what it is that you write, but I want you to spend 10 minutes a day writing towards creating that journal. Even if it was a terrible writing day and you ball the paper up and you throw it all away, at least you've spent 10 minutes writing that day. And I said, I want no excuses. I was too tired. I had this come up and that come up. No. Anyone can write for 10 minutes a day. And so she agreed to that, right? And she did it. She did the 10 minutes a day. And she came back to me about a week later and she said, thank you. Because I was not going to get that journal done over that 3-day weekend. Like I've been constantly telling myself, I've had this 3-day weekend, I've had this time off or whatever. But I've been constantly telling myself that I'm going to get it done over this short period of time, knowing that I'm not. And so with you challenging me to just write for 10 minutes a day, I actually wrote for much longer than 10 minutes a day. And I was able to get it done much quicker than I thought I would, right? And I tell that story because I gave her just a small, sustainable option for how she could get her journal done, right? If we leave this whole chunk of pie to be eaten at one time, it's going to give us a stomachache. It's going to end up hurting us in the long run, right? But if we just take a little bite a day, then we get enjoyment, we get satisfaction, but we don't get all the negative things that come with trying to fit too many things in at once, right? And so I implore you guys to do the same thing. Create realistic, sustainable action plans. Don't watch what this person's doing or that person's doing. Don't get in this rush where you're running this marathon and you feel like you need to race through it and get everything done by this invisible deadline that nobody is holding you to. Step back and really think about how you can do things in a sustainable way so you're not burning yourself out, so you're not hurting yourself in the long run. The last thing we want to do is get tired of our businesses. Our businesses are supposed to be here for the long run, right? They are a product of our passion. They are bringing us, fulfillment, happiness, satisfaction, pride, joy, all of those things, right? So we don't want to get tired of our business. And who comes to me? People who are tired of their business. And they're tired of their business for a couple reasons. Because they have no clear vision, they have no clear goals, and they have no clear plan, right? And so then they come to me and they're frustrated. They're discouraged. They want to throw the whole thing away. They want to start something new. I was selling this. Now I want to sell this. I was doing this. Now I want to do that. I was this kind of coached, but I don't think, or, even worse, it's not me. It's my audience. They're just not buyers. They're just supporters, or my supporters should be buyers, and no distinction between the two. And so we want to make sure that before we get frustrated with our business, we reach out to people who can help us to clarify our vision, set sensible goals, and sustainable, actionable plans, right? And so that is what my new private one-on-one coaching program does. We focus on clarifying your vision, creating sensible goals, and a sustainable action plan over the course of 4 months. So you'll have 8 calls with me, and we will do trainings and figure out where your vision is, how you're going to meet it using your goals and your action plans, and then we're going to implement it. And you'll spend time with me in the implementation phase. So even while you're doing it, I'm giving you guidance and coaching on how to navigate the different challenges and barriers that are going to come up, because as we know, even the best laid plans have things come up that we were not prepared for or we did not take into consideration, right? So if you're interested in this private coaching program, download my goal setting ebook and schedule an appointment with me. There are discovery calls open and available to you, and I cannot wait to chat with you about where you need help with in your business. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.